the drumless, noiseless drums. You've probably seen these before. I've had them for a few days, so let's talk about them. What I like and what could be improved. First of all, let's look at what you get. You got 2 sticks, the 2 pedals, and finally this adapter. And that brings me to the first thing that I love about these, which is the ease and the speed of use. So once everything is charged, it's turning the adapter on, either plugging headphones in or plugging an aux cable into speakers. Got your buttons right here on the sticks. 45-degree angle, push the buttons, get a little vibration there, hit the pedals, and you're making noise. Now, a pro tip for when you're getting the sticks calibrated is that it's all about the angle of the sticks. This will save you a ton of frustration when you first set them up. And basically what I mean by that is when you use the 45-degree angle, it locks that angle in. So you'll notice that here's a snare hit. If I keep this same angle on the stick, then it's a snare hit. Right, even as you move around. So you have to think about that angle, right? As soon as I straighten the stick out and I'm gonna go over here, then it's a floor tom hit. So just keep that in mind when you're, one, calibrating them, and then also when you're playing, know that it's really about the angle of the sticks. That's how it knows what part of the kit that it should be playing. Now, the second thing I love about it is the AeroBand app that comes with it. Now, ironically, one of the main reasons why I like this app is because you actually don't have to use it. One of my least favorite things is when you buy something and they make you download some piece of software to use it. That's not the case here. All you have to do is connect the adapter using Bluetooth to your phone, and then when you open the app, you kind of go through and calibrate it in the app. And then there's cool educational things in there that you can do to kind of learn rhythm and moving around the kit. And there's also a list of songs that you can play too. Now, the last thing that I love and was super surprised with was the sensitivity that these have. Like, listen to the dynamics I'm able to play with on the snare in this clip. I couldn't believe how well it handled those soft notes. Like, it doesn't sound like a hard note that's just turned down, but it actually sounds like a real ghost note on the head of a snare drum, which is really cool. Now, some things that I don't love. And the first is gonna be, if you're a drummer especially, the positioning of everything as you move around the invisible kit. It takes a little bit getting used to as far as, like, you know, where the hi-hat is off to the side, where the ride is kind of up over here. And obviously, if you play drums a lot and you kind of get locked into where your whole kit is, it is kind of weird to get these in your hands and kind of have to relearn that, especially when you can't see them. It did take me a decent amount of time of playing around before I was able to really kind of get locked into where everything was. It's kind of like if you sit down on somebody else's kit at first and you're like, oh, this is kind of weird, I'm not sure. But then you play for a few minutes, then you kind of get it. Now, another thing that I think could use some improvements are the pedals. The pedals have a click to them. Let's see if you can hear it. But it's definitely on the softer side, if that makes sense. It's almost like a button on a remote. Since there's not a lot of movement down in the pedal, when you get your foot on there, it can be a little tricky at times to know if and when you're activating the sensor. To help with that, I've found and definitely recommend to have a light touch with your foot. You don't want to rest your foot on the pedal. You definitely want to push it down and then get off. But all in all, I was really pleasantly surprised with these things. A couple things that I want to go over that I didn't talk about before. It does have 9 different sound profiles. They're super easy to flip through. All you do is take the adapter here. There's a voice button. You just click through and it'll change the sound of the drums each time. And it also has a MIDI capability too. So if you're somebody that makes music and let's say you play the drums a little bit, but not enough to have a real drum set, you can hook these up straight into your DAW and record just the same as you would if you were on a MIDI controller tapping the pads, except you actually get to play the drums and go through the motions of playing the drums, which is pretty cool. So who are these for? And not to take the cop-out answer, but I really think they're for anyone. but they're definitely not a replacement for drums. If you were somebody that was thinking, I'm gonna buy a drum set, oh wait, I can just buy these instead. No, don't do that. That's not gonna take the place of drums. These are more of like a fun alternative that you can use anytime, anywhere. If you're a drummer or you know a drummer, then you know that we play drums on everything. The steering wheel, our legs, the desk, the table, whatever. So for me, these are something I just keep on my desk here, and rather than, play with my fingers on the desk, I just pick these sticks up, plug them in 2 seconds, and then I'm getting actual drum sounds, which is really cool. I don't have to use the sounds in my head. If you're not a drummer, these are still obviously going to be fun, but I do think they can be used as a way to see if drums would be for you. Normally, if you wanted to see if you had interest in any instrument, you would have to buy that instrument. But with these sticks and the tools they have in the app, you can get a pretty good idea if drums is something that you would be interested or able to do. And you'd be able to figure that out at a fraction of the cost. I mean, nowadays, if you were to get the most entry-level drum set with hardware and cymbals and everything that you would need to actually start playing, you'd be putting in at least $500. These are only $169, which is pretty good considering you get 9 different drum kit sounds built into the adapter, and then all of the different educational and fun things you get in the app too. So big thanks to AeroBand. If you're looking to pick up some of these, use the link in the description, and you can use code Brandon10, BRANDON 10 for 10% off. So now's the part of the video where I tie this video into another one of my older videos. I point up here and I tell you to go watch it, but I don't really know what video ties into this. Here we go. This company is AeroBand. I'm in a band called the Deep Space Network. We did a cover of Ain't It Fun by Paramore live. Here it is. Go watch it. Crushed it.